So this is basically the video version of all of my movement related feedback on Diabotical that I've tried to get through to the developers for at least the past 3 years. And I know that the tiny nuances of the movement aren't really in the top of the priority for the programmers or the programmer, but I feel like right now is another good time to mention them before the open beta comes out. I actually made this video already during in between the second and third stress test, but I couldn't upload this video because I was traveling and the free Wi-Fi's that I laid my eyes on during the travel weren't really up for the job. But now I'm home and I can finally upload the video, so here's the video. The biggest movement issue I have in this game is actually pretty well hidden, because you only really see it when you're walking on ramps. Most ramps in this game are pretty gentle, and the issue is only really apparent the steeper the ramp is. When you move up and down perpendicularly, it feels pretty normal, but as soon as you start skewing your direction, you instantly notice something is wrong. My second issue has something to do with lifts. Am I the only one who's bothered how the friction basically disappears when the lift goes up? I've been trying to point this out for a while, but nothing seems to happen. I don't get it. Is it done like this on purpose? Like, are you trying to punish the player for using the lifts? Because that would make sense. But otherwise it's just limiting your movement options for no reason. I'm probably alone on this one, but to me it feels like it's really hard to control your speed while crouching. This behavior is especially annoying when you're trying to walk on tiny platforms. Typically you would use crouch to adjust your position slowly, but in this game it feels like you're running, even crouched. In Quake 1 and Source games, there's a thing called edge friction. The way this mechanic works is that the game actually increases your friction when your hitbox approaches a ledge. So I recommend you try doing something like this for crouch specifically. And up next we have number 4. Can we please get the ramp boost behavior back, please? Well, it didn't really exist in Diabotical to begin with, but it's been a thing in every Quake, except for 4, I think. And it's just something that I feel like the movement should have since it's heavily based on Quake. Here's a demonstration of what it looks like in previous Quakes. All that it is basically is that you land on a ramp and then you get sort of a horizontal boost to the downward direction of the ramp. You can sort of do it in Diabotical already if you delay the jump a little bit, but it would be more intuitive if it worked like it did in previous Quakes. My last issue has also been talked about before, but it's the only issue that's also been addressed by the great dude himself.
Fix ramps, jumps when... Smile Scythe, stop it!
I will never stop.
And Smile Scythe wants us to make it so the faster you hit a ramp, the higher you jump. The problem is, in my opinion, is that's really fun in defrag only.
Also, Quake World, Quake 2, CPM, Reflex, Xenotic, Warsaw, Quake 4. A lot of people like the ramp jump.
Because I think that when you want to move around, you want to maintain a lot more in these games. You're kind of horizontal speed, because that's how you chase people. And when you hit ramps and you get these like weird effects, you kind of feel floaty and you lose control.
That's very subjective, because you can also lose control if you bump into walls. But it's true, the movement would become more vertical with ramp jumps. But if the maps are shaped a certain way, then you could also chase vertically. I really don't see the problem with it. In the background you can see some examples of slide jumps, which is more or less what you could expect from ramp jumps as well. Anyway, back to James.
I mean, I know it's based off your speed, but even here, just like doing a circle jump on a ramp, for example, can feel kind of inconsistent. It bugs me anyway.
Actually, it's very consistent, because you have a fixed impulse, and it's the same impulse regardless of your speed. Whether your speed is 10 UPS or 600 UPS, it's always the same height. That's also how the movement can feel floaty, if you can just start walking and make ramp jumps like how you showed on your stream. Consistency is actually very unnatural in Quake-like movement. Think about it. Consistent circle jumps, consistent rocket jumps. There's theoretical perfection for both of them, but you never really reach there consistently. And same should apply to ramp jumps, because it's based on speed, which is not consistent. The only consistent movement mechanic in Quake that doesn't feel unnatural is just a regular, plain jump impulse. Thanks for listening. Bye.